So one of the reasons that I'm here and one of the reasons I'm trying to help provide a different perspective is because of all the different versions that come out of a trial like this. I've been receiving a lot of information like that this afternoon from some of the people that I'm corresponding with. They say they've been watching Twitter, for example, and some of the coverage that's coming out of the trial, and they say this reporter's saying one thing and this reporter's saying another, and they're all talking about Sheriff Dave Ward, and they're saying completely different things. And that's exactly the point of our coverage, that you just don't know who to trust. And I'm not going to pretend that everything we say is perfect or it's absolutely true, but what I am going to say, and I will always say, is that it offers another perspective. It's another side of the story. And so if you want to look at all of those sides of the story, then eventually you may come up with basically what happened, and you can decide what the more credible view is. It's our position that the mainstream media often has an agenda, and we're not going to pretend that we don't have some kind of an agenda, but we will state what that is right up front, and we want to provide another perspective about all that. So back to Sheriff Ward. Basically, he said that even though Ammon Bundy and some of those that were with him were talking about the potential for civil unrest, he wasn't aware of any actual threats. But one thing they did say to him, which was disconcerting to him and other people, was that if he wasn't going to do his job in protecting his constituents and Harney County citizens, they would bring thousands of people to Harney County to help him do his job. And so to some extent, he may have felt like that was a threat. They had a lot of discussions to him about the Constitution and the role of a county sheriff under the Constitution and jurisdiction of the federal government and all of those things. He said that although the Hammond protest was completely out of norm for Harney County, he said that sort of thing doesn't happen in a place like Harney County very often, but it was what he considered to be a peaceful protest rally, and he felt good about it. So again, I'm reading my notes. You'll have to forgive me as I try to do that. There are other ways to do that sort of thing. But Sheriff Ward admitted that neither the governor nor any of his congressmen seemed to take the Hammond situation seriously until the refuge occupation. He said that Ammon Bundy and the others had said that they had tried to get the attention of the elected leaders, both locally and at the state level and at the federal level, and they hadn't been able to get anyone's attention, they hadn't been able to get any kind of response, and so finally they decided to ratchet it up a notch by occupying the refuge. And Sheriff Ward had to admit that it wasn't until then that he started hearing from the governor, that he started hearing from congressmen, and that they started paying some attention to the situation. Believe it or not, the sun has shifted again just in this short 3-minute clip. I'm going to wrap this one up and then try to wrap up Sheriff Ward's testimony in the next clip.